Maybe I just need a less saturated material. And you know what might work perfect? Plastic bag. Still have a plastic bag over here from earlier. I'm going to try clipping off a piece of this plastic bag and using that and bunching it because it can't saturate, which seems to be the problem. It gets smushy and loses that kind of bulkiness. I wonder if that will solve our problem. We'll find out here in a minute. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. Paper towel. Kind of bunch it up a little bit like this. I want that kind of weirdo scrunchiness there, kind of those divots. Okay. Oh, that's kind of nice. All right, there we go. Now we're getting that thick, deep kind of texture, that pock mark. And I like a little bit better, a little deeper stippling. We only want to do it over certain areas in the book, not over all the areas. It's not over every area. Okay? Ugh, I just made a total mess of that. But luckily that's all right. See? I got that totally smushed on the bottom here. But it's the cool thing about paint and acrylics, since this is kind of probably some kind of non-natural ink that's on here, probably mostly get this off. Just a little dab of water. Yep. Lucky us. Minimal residue left over. See? Okay. So going on now, you can see this or not. Going on, I'm going to stipple this again. Stipple, 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 stipple. Drag it, stipple, drag it, stipple, drag, stipple. That blue color again. Bring that in, give that mottled look. It says, hey, I'm a book that has the hell beat out of me. But I'm still here. You may take my word, but you'll never take my freedom. Anyway, on here, that those stipples, and I think we're almost done. I really like that stipple pattern now with that kind of gray. It looks dirty, like it might have been a little moldy. It's nice. Okay. So we're going to let this go ahead and dry. And the outside here, we're going to save that little bit of paint that we have from the other sections. Now we're going to go ahead and open up our inside. Now I don't really paint the inside of this part here. You can if you want to. I'm going to leave it how it is. So this part we're gonna take the paintbrush, put it back into the water container over here. Right now our moss is great looking. Barely anything coming off of it. We're going to do a little bit of a shake from that shake and bake from before. And now I'm going to use a smaller brush. I'm going to use this kind of square-headed brush. If you don't have a square-headed brush, don't worry, not a big problem. Just be careful when you drag your color along the edge of the book. Okay? So I have kind of this light blue here over here that I have. I'm going to take some of that and throw it on here because we're done with this painting on the outside right now. I like where the book is. It may not be exactly like the other book in line that I was going from, but I like the color. And I've seen blue books like that in the game, so I'll go with it. I like it. It's going on my shelf. Like I said, if you want to change it, feel free. Okay. I'm going to kind of find a color that's in between the two so it kind of fools the eye. So we've got that base on here. So we're going across the top again. to right here to where it closes. Find that seam to where it closes. Drag it across. For some of you it'll be different. Maybe you don't even have the seam. Maybe it just kind of stops. Maybe you've got the paper mache kind. I'm not sure what that looks like. I haven't painted with it yet. The idea being that we don't want it to look like it hasn't been colored. So I'm going to stop there. My edges aren't perfect, but they should color the area so it can't show through when you close the book. It doesn't look like the outside was painted and the inside's a box. We don't want that. That would defeat the whole purpose. And it will be easier for you to make mistakes, whatever, or you have the time. Like I said, this is a tutorial, so I'm not doing the super thorough version of everything. I'm doing a decent version of everything. I'm telling you how to do a thorough version. So if you want to, you can paint this whole inside, so you don't have to worry about any mistakes on the side. You don't always have to use the same brushes I use. Use what works best for you. Looking good, looking good. Open your book up a little bit so you can paint this part. Okay, and you can take a look there. You can see the edges, how that's painted in the seam like that. Okay. I'm going to do that for the other side as well. This is the side that's a little tricky because it's close to the seam of the book where the fake paper is. So be real careful with that. Make sure you paint all the way around. If you paint down at an angle, kind of like you're in your yard and you're doing a weed whack by like some concrete or something like that, and you find that right angle. It's almost like that with this. So you got to make sure that you're at the right angle there. Because if you're not at the right angle, you paint on the fake pages, and we don't want that. Just like weed whacking, you'll break your weed whacker or anything else. I think I'm the only person in the universe who actually likes the weed whack. Something like very zen and relaxing about it for me. To each his own, though. Some people hate it. Okay, and we're getting close to being done with this part of the book. We're going to be working on the decoration pretty soon, which is the destructive element. It's going to be awesome. Like that spell ruin that's on the front, destruction spell ruin. So we're going to need to look at the symbol to make sure that we have it correctly placed on our book and what it looks like. I'm going to be looking just directly off the internet. If you want to print something out and that helps you, that's fine too. Whatever works best for you is what's important. Okay, so that's great. That has been painted now thoroughly all the way around. And this is dried on the inside, so I can even go ahead and close this magnetic area here so we can see what it looks like. It's got that texture to it. It's very realistic, rough, like it's been through hell and back. not Necronomicon hell, but... And actually, if you look here on the spine, it's a little damaged, some of the paint peeled off. It got nicked while I was doing that. That looks extra cool. I almost want to peel more off now. I'm going to do that, actually. I like that. I want to nick a little bit of the paint before it dries. Do that all over. Maybe not right there. That was too bright. Like I said, fix it all. Fix it all. All right. Put this aside for a moment. Let that dry for a second. I'm going to get some of this black paint out now. And because the inside, I believe, is black color, we're going to get that symbol up and ready to go. We have about an hour and a half, a little more than an hour and a half left. And actually, the center area is more of like a reddish kind of blackish color. I guess you could say brackish. We're going to use that. So, let's get out our burnt sienna, or a dark red color, if you have it. Okay. Straight right there. Okay, and since our book is mostly already dry, the stippling is slightly not dry, but that's okay, because it's stippling, and it's not supposed to be perfect. Decide how we want our book to open. We don't want it to open upside down, so make sure you find that correct side. You don't want to paint the wrong side. This is the front. Okay? So go ahead and move this to the side now. These brushes are kind of in my way. Got a mess everywhere here, but that's all right. One thing at a time. Now I'm going to go ahead and gently lay this down. And we're going to go ahead and start painting that symbol. Now I'm going to paint it as I see it, like as if I was underneath, as if I hadn't put the gold on top, because I haven't yet. So in the center I see that there is kind of a circle. So I'm going to start the circle color here, the circle shape. And actually we want it kind of a blackish, reddish color here. So I'm going to mix that red in there real good. There we go. You can see that? There we go. Okay. So that's kind of a thicker, circular kind of hand thing that's going on. So like that. Okay, we're going to start with that. If I'm looking over here, it looks like on this side there is this kind of swirl that goes into it. So we're going to bring this part up. I'm going to match our symbol that we see on either your sheet or the internet. And it kind of goes off to the side like a weird zigzaggy flame thing. So we're going to try to recreate that. Okay. So that's that first side right there. Kind of tall like that. Well, next we're going to go over here and do the second one. The second one is kind of similar. It goes straight up. The second, I guess you could call digit, that looks like it's coming off the fiery palm. It's going to go straight up and to the side a little bit. And then it kind of comes out in a weird little bulbous bulge on the side. Kind of a